just like we drew it up, Destin Talbert was going to make a big-time play in the end zone, and we were going to get a stop on defense to finish it out. I tell you what, the young men in that locker room, the coaches, I couldn't be more excited. What a day. What a week. I mean, signing day, graduation, finals, primetime semifinal game. The reason why we sell this place as the best mid-major football program in the country, and I think you saw it tonight. Our fans were unbelievable, loud. I think I saw 3 or 4 false starts, but they influenced the game. Bad snaps. I hope they all go home and have a cocktail for me. I'll open it up for questions right now.
Coach, were you able to breathe through the entirety of that second half?
Sure, a little bit. If I told you I was never concerned, I'd be lying, but, that's a good football team across the way, and they got good players. Their quarterback might be one of the best players in the country. And for us to create 2 turnovers, 2 picks, he'd only thrown 2 all year, is tremendous. Offensively, I thought we did a good first half, had the ball 20 minutes, ended up having it 32, 34 minutes out of the game. We're able to run the football very effectively. I thought Hunter Lipke ran really hard. Our kids played their tails off, and you can't take that away. Tremendous effort and execution all night long on both sides of the football.
What adjustment do you feel like they made to your offense in the second half?
To our defensively, what adjustments did they make? Well, I think they kept doing the same thing. They were bringing 5 every snap. I don't know if there was a spear from the field, from the boundary. They brought some smoke. They made some plays. They got us behind the chains a little bit. I don't know if they did anything different. They just probably made more plays. But I thought that drive to score, I thought we got really moving pretty well. And there's a couple plays in there you always wish you had back.
How does Destin make that play?
He goes up and just, you saw him high point it. He was off the ground. That's Jim Kramer. How about we put that? That's Coach Kramer. That's the physical development that we get in the weight room.
You guys hadn't had to play from behind much that late in the game. What was it like for you guys, for you to see those guys respond like that?
I thought I knew it was going to be close. I knew we were going to have to get a stop. We're going to have to score again. Got frustrated right down there a little bit. We were going to go for 2. One, we didn't get the ball placed where it was. I never saw the clock pumped. So thank goodness that never came back to bite us.
For a kid like Destin to make that play, because he times in his career has struggled.
Not made enough plays for people in this room. Yeah, it's big time. He hasn't made enough plays for me at times. So, but for him to be able to finish tonight, that was unbelievable. That's Bison football, doing whatever you can to make sure we're able to win. So he's making more and more plays, and I think it only validates his decision-making to come back next year in 22.
What was the play that Licky got open? One of those 2 long passes?
He was at the off the ball, the U tight end, ran a wheel. We should have ran it 3rd time, 4th time. They struggled to defend it, and as you saw, the down safety just struggled. They were so amped up for our run game and getting that secondary support. And again, guys, Hunter is a very unique athlete. Big, physical, fast, difference maker.
That was the decision on Christian not to play.
Just didn't feel like he had. He tried all week long. He'd been running. He'd been working. Just wasn't where he could be. And rather than go backwards, I think it says a lot about Christian to know that he trusted his guys to win one more. I anticipate he will be ready for our next one.
What does it mean to get back to Frisco after the kind of tougher spring, that whole COVID thing and everything else, and to get back?
Mike, we're going to appreciate it and enjoy it just like we do every year. It's been a long year of football. You look at the spring, we didn't play very well at times. The fall, we played okay at times. But our kids have played, what is it now? What would it be, 24 games, 25 games, 23 games in a year's time? The next couple of weeks will be good for us to get healthy. But I know I'm not going to take it for granted. I appreciate everything about this place. I appreciate the fans. I appreciate our administration, our players. I thought we could be pretty good this year. I challenged them to get better every day, and we have.
This is play afterwards, but where, not necessarily where does it rank, but how good is that from just an individual play from Destin? I mean, from your days of coaching, an individual
That might be one of the top 2 or 3 plays I've ever seen, period. I mean, who knows how far he was off the ground? It might be 40 inches. It's been at least since junior high since I could jump like that.
What's your highest work?
We're not getting into bragging right now.
Matt, just a comment on James Madison, them leaving, how disappointing it is that these kind of games can't happen going forward with them.
You know, I made the comment earlier this week, they're doing what they think is right for their program. I'm sure their administration has felt like the time was now, and I understand. You know, every 10 years or so, there's a cycle of conference adjustment, and they probably think they're in a good place where they can compete and enter the Sun Belt and be competitive right away. It's unfortunate, but you know, I'm just going to appreciate this win right now.
That's the first time Cam Miller's been put in this kind of position throughout the playoff run, and he really rose to the occasion. But what do you have to say about his performance?
Well, I'll say this just about Cam is he's a tremendous competitor. He prepares as good as any quarterback we've had come through here. I'm not comparing him to anyone. I'm just saying that his preparation weekly in our staff room, right here, daily, him, Quincy, Cole, Peter Anderson, you see those guys walking in with breakfast, they leave for lunch, they come back. I mean, this week, I think his finals were done pretty quick. He was here as long as the coaching staff was. And when you have young men that are willing to prepare like that, there is no stress. Now, there's pressure to perform, but at least pressure to me is when you're prepared. Stress is when you're unprepared, and that's just not how we operate here.
I could be wrong, but it seemed like, I mean, did you have the Quincy stuff scripted in your first 15? It just didn't seem like he was on the field as much in the second half as he was in the first.
Well, I don't think we were on the field probably as much either. We needed to make sure that we were moving the football, and it became a game of first downs. We needed to continue to move the chains. But we had some openers in there. It shoulda, coulda, woulda. The quarterback throwback. He's going to want to have that one back. I told you, be careful. We got some stuff up our sleeve now.
Had a couple offensive linemen out today too. So
Yep.
there's a couple of
Yeah.
second teamers, I guess.
Sure, Mason Miller started a game before. Man, we have so much. The expectations for him are we don't know what his ceiling is right now. But for him to come in, you saw Cordell Volson, 6th-year senior, move to guard. You know, he gets every Tuesday he gets some guard reps, but didn't flinch, didn't blink. Mason didn't blink. We'll have Nash back. He'll be ready to go here in a couple weeks. We tried. He did everything he could all week long to prepare. He didn't want to miss. He didn't want to be out. None of our kids did. They're in with Mason and his staff all the time. And I need to give our medical team and our medical staff and our athletic trainers a ton of credit. Again, we played 24, 25 games in a year. We couldn't do it without them.
Sundell, do you expect back?
I would think so. I mean, he was running on Wednesday, just, you know, couldn't change direction. And his athleticism at center is what makes him different. I mean, you guys have seen us run that pin and pull stuff, and he gets out, and he ain't afraid to get in space, and he can block backers and safeties. So, you know, we'll hit the ground running on Monday a little bit. We'll give our guys a couple days off for Christmas here and there and get back to work.
Thoughts on the game tomorrow? Potential of an all Missouri Valley game in Frisco?
I don't have any thoughts right now, Dom. I'm just really excited about where we're at. I want to make sure that we get healthy, make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep moving this program forward.
What did you guys do to take Cole Johnson out of his comfort zone? That was far and away the worst game he's had for his playoff run.
Well, boy, if that was a bad game, then my heart didn't feel like it. He's really good. We tried to play a bunch of coverage that looked like single high and then turned it into too high on the snap. We were rolling free safety down and then slinging to cover 2. We tried to show a ton of single high. You'd see pressure. We tried to get into the windows, and then we play big zone and just tried to keep changing the picture. We weren't going to be able to. And then our D-line, I don't know how many set, but I thought we got a lot of pressure on him during the course of it. He had a scramble, and that's not his MO. He hurt us a little bit. but I don't think it was as much as if he could sit back there and pat the ball and sling it all over the field. All right. Hey, you guys have a great Christmas, and I'll see you in Texas.
All right, Destin. You know what we want to talk to you about, dude. Talk to us about that interception. What was going through your head there after that?
After the interception?
Run me through it first, and then go ahead and talk about that.
Well, running you through it, we were in zone over there. It was red zone, trying to get a stop. And, you know, I already had in my head that the takeaway would be big. But just anytime the ball comes my way, I'm excited for that. So I saw him coming my way, look in my direction and throw it up, and all that came through my head was it had to come with me one way or the other, and it came with me in a spectacular fashion. So I feel crazy right now to answer the initial question. My mind has just been scrambled since then. I feel, I don't know, just overjoyed.
You jump that high?
You said that I could jump that high? Oh yeah, the jump wasn't the problem. I knew I could jump. The one hand was what was the surprise.
Coach Jets called that one of the 2 or 3 best plays he's ever seen in his life. What's it like to hear that?
That's amazing. I mean, cause definitely number one for me. So to hear Coach say that, that's amazing. I appreciate that.
Destin, describe from the spring. I know you had some struggles. To have the kind of year you had, started the year with a pick, have a pick tonight. Describe that.
It's amazing. Again, I keep using the word amazing, but it is. I mean, that's all I worked for. You know, like you said, I had a disappointing spring. I expect more out of myself. And then coming into this year, I myself and the whole defense, you know, focused on takeaways and becoming just a better defense overall. Just our different ratios and margins just weren't as good as we knew they could be. And so now that I'm making plays, the whole defense is making plays, it's exciting. I'm loving it.
Do you work on one-handed catches? I mean, do you practice that?
I wouldn't say I practice it. Does it happen every now and then in practice? Yeah. But no, I don't practice it. I don't practice it.
What about what they were doing to stop the run got you so open on those release, the passes?
I think they tried to match personnel when we'd bring in our heavy personnel, so we knew play action drop back pass would work out of the bigger personnels, and showed today. So.
Hunter, you combined over 200 yards receiving and rushing. Talk about coming up huge in a huge game. How do you feel right now?
A little sore. I feel good though. I mean, I'm really excited to get back down to Frisco. It's been too long, so yeah, that's all that's on my mind right now.
If I would have told you you would have led the team in rushing and receiving, would you? I know you did that in high school. Would you believe that you do it at Division I football?
Probably not. No, especially. I mean, coming in at fullback, I mean, you're not really expecting to get a lot of rushing yards. I mean, maybe a pass here or two, but, I mean, things worked out today, so.
Cam, we don't see in practice, but what kind of athlete is Hunter?
He's probably the best athlete on the team. Like, I know Christian Watson's up there, but I don't think anybody compares to Lipke when it comes to overall athlete. And I've been saying that since I got here. So
What is it about it? Is it a combination of everything, or what stands out?
I would say you could probably put him at any position on the field, and he would do his job, and he would do a really good job of it. So.
Could you have made the one-handed catch in the reception?
I don't know, that was pretty spectacular.
Cam, a lot of pressure moments out there. What helped you stay calm in those big moments?
I just knew that we had the fans behind us, and all of my teammates were behind me. So that really gave me confidence. And, you know, I was just trying to think positive thoughts and really not try to think about this game possibly going to overtime or something negative happening, you know.
Take the team to Frisco. As the quarterback, what does that represent to you?
You know, it means a lot. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that have done that here, and to be part of that is just a huge accomplishment for me.
Tony, what did you see in the interception? You were on, I mean, what?
I was on I like laid down, I'm gonna go down and see it kind of like that was crazy.
Describe the night you had up front, Tony, against why did you have such success on their offensive line?
I gotta say the scout team, because like they just been helping us throughout the week and just giving out the way they was jump setting us. Hunter and Sam, they just was doing that the whole week, and they just helped us the whole week.
Cam, you guys were down at the 2-yard line, and you got a couple first downs with him. Describe that part of the game.
You know, there were some big holes. I thought the guys up front did a great job, and I thought Lipke ran really hard. was awesome to see. And that's what Bison football is that.
Dustin, how did you frustrate their quarterback so much early on and throughout the game?
You say, how did I frustrate him?
Just the defense in general.
Oh, we just showing him different looks. I mean, we do that every week. Of course, there's a great team, so you want to do it even more. Just making sure he's not seeing a stagnant look and knowing what defense he's looking at, using disguises, acting like I'm in man and zone, showing different pressures, whether it's me, the linebackers, different safeties rotating. Yeah, that'll frustrate any quarterback.
A team that tends to snap it that late, how hard is it to show that look but don't do it too early?
I mean, it's difficult, but we practice it all the time. So you get used to mixing in disguises, changing up your levels. I mean, and then again, like Cam said, we know we have the fans with us, and having a packed dome. It's gonna be hard for him to hold that count and make double snaps and everything. So it's more of a deficit for them than for us.
Yeah, Cole Johnson, their quarterback, mentioned that they literally could not hear the protection, and that's why they turned the defensive lineman loose on your pick. How cool is that to hear?
That's amazing. I love it. Anything that works in my favor for that pick, I love everything about it. So I'll take it.
Cam, you guys up 13-0. You get the ball down 14-13 in the fourth quarter. Talk to me a little bit about the leadership structure and just kind of the overall message going into that successful drive.
We were just trying to take it one at a time, one play at a time, not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves, and just rely on the run game and chew clock. That's really what we wanted to do. Try to keep their offense off the field and keep ours on.
Is it tough not to get too excited when Hunter gets that open?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. At that point, you say to yourself that you can't miss him. He's so wide open. You just don't want to overthrow him, underthrow him. I feel like I had a few guys open, and they just made plays.
Was that a new play? I mean, did you guys run that much this year?
We ran that same play. Are you talking about the first touchdown that we had?
Yeah, well, yeah.
We ran that against South Dakota State and scored. I think it's been 3 for 3 so far since I've had it, and we ran it twice today.
How big was that game plan? Just in general, this goes to anybody who wants to take it. But, I mean, you're talking about one of the best teams in the nation.
Yep.
You succeeded on both sides of the ball.
I've been telling people for the last 5 weeks that we've really simplified the game plan, but I felt like going into this week we really had to do more. We had to show different looks to their defense, and I thought the guys really did a good job of handling more this week. They really got in there, watched film, and really studied the playbook, and I thought it really helped today.
Can you comment on the performance of Westberg and Mason Miller tonight?
I'll have to watch the film in order to really see that, but there were some big holes, and I would give credit to those guys up front.
Destin, was it a matter of relief or joy when the clock showed 0-0 after you guys finally got the Johnson sack and the clock ran out? What was the feeling?
It was definitely both of those, relief, joy. I mean, I knew that I was excited for the game to be over and for us to go to Frisco. I mean, you were thinking that the whole time, but especially after I made the play, I'm like, okay, we definitely have to make it now. I don't want to leave sad after that play. So relief and joy.
Tony, usually the Texas song plays like in the middle of the fourth quarter in these semifinal games. You guys had to wait till the game was over this time, so is that a whole different deal, or what's the...
Yeah, it was different. We was talking about it in practice, like, if we ever get, like, a sack leading up to that, we was going to, like, do a little dance. So I'm like, it's crunch time. We can't even get it in, so we just had to wait till the end of the game.
And you compare the feeling after Sam Houston, you said you took the blame for that. Compare that to tonight.
I just felt like as a team we all played better today than we did in the spring. We really would just, I can't say this enough, but I feel like our fans helped us out so much today in getting back to Frisco, and we just can't thank them enough.
DT, you've been a part of it. They said, the mid-fourth quarter songs. Describe a game like this where it literally came down to the last play and everybody rushing out of the field. I mean, how cool was that as opposed to winning this game by 30?
I like to blow out every team we play. I wouldn't complain about that at all. It's definitely something special about taking it down to the wire. But, yeah, I wish we would have blown them out. I wish we would blow everybody out. But, yeah, I love that feeling. I love the feeling of, really feeling like you earned it, broke it down to the last second, made a big play. I'm glad I could bring the number 6 a big play back just like a couple years ago. So I love it.
That's when you describe the day, graduated earlier today, capped off with that kind of play. Can you describe the last 18 hours?
Crazy. Wow, unbelievable. I mean, I was just thinking that out there before I came in here. Like, wow, I graduated today. Like, that was the same day. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm privileged to be able to go through these years and get to graduate NDSU, get the academic success I've had, and then to also have another opportunity to go back to the national championship. I'm loving my experience.
Nice tip of the cap to James Hendricks there, by the way.
That was the old days. 06, Jimmy football, man. I gotta show love.